What am I to say about this episode? I thoroughly liked it. I am MegamanNG, and I welcome you guys to another Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review. Today we talk about episode 3, End of the Road. And yeah, the thumbnail is as it is because I'd rather not want to anger Hasbro. I don't know why. They haven't responded and they haven't released the claim on the first one. So I'm like, screw it, and I'll just have it as it is. So far, at least with episode 2, it's still intact. Anyway, I'll provide my synopsis as well as the main points of focus on this episode. Like always. But if you want to know, the episode is good. To prevent construction of a new highway in a forest, Zoey tries to convince the citizens of Coral Harbor to use bikes powered by Morph-X. But the bad guys, especially Blaze, see it as an opportunity to obtain Morph-X and execute a plan of their own. Can the Rangers stop Evox's forces from acquiring Morph-X? Can Zoey succeed in her goal of convincing the city? So that way a forest doesn't have to be turned down to make road for a highway? Yeah, just saying. We now reach episode 3, and I feel that the plot follows a more environmental-friendly way of things. I'm not gonna lie, I can understand that protecting the environment is of utmost importance, but I've never seen it done right in a show like this, especially with Beast Morphers. We know that Zoey values the environment more than anything else. And in this episode, it's all focused on her trying to find a way to get the city to use bikes instead of cars. A means of alternate forms of transportation because cars let off pollution while bikes do not. It does provide a strong message, but at the same time, you have to wonder why governments have to do boneheaded decisions like make a road where a forest should be. It's not right, it never is, because before, well, nowadays you always see highways and whatnot, but before that, most of it was all like forest and lands. But I guess it goes with the times. But yep, Evox decides to send Blaze down and make a monster and recover Morph-X. The monster gets beat, but the bad guys got what they want. And all this happened within the first 6 minutes of the episode. We also get to see an appearance by Muriel Reeves, the mother of Zoey, played by Sia Trokenheim. She's also reported for Coral Harbor, and I feel that she also is part of an impetus that helped Zoey complete her goal. If there's one thing this episode shows, is like I said, Zoey has a persistent desire to preserve the environment. And we see that happen all throughout the episode. We see her determination trying to convince the citizens to use Morph-X bikes because it's better than using cars, and it's also as a means to preserve the environment. That I can appreciate. Trust me, for sure. We also get what I consider to be one of my favorite moments of this episode. The Rangers chasing Blaze while riding Morph-X bikes. I mean, it's not just... how do I put this? It does help the plot along, but I find it to be one of the coolest things in this episode, hands down. A chase scene that I thoroughly liked because we actually get to see the Rangers ride bikes chasing a bad guy. And believe me, it also does serve to help the citizens be convinced that Morph-X bikes are cool. Have the Rangers ride them? They'd be hooked on it right away because the Rangers are pretty much the good guys. But I really do like it. It also shows that all of it is mostly original footage, except for the end where the Sentai footage was used for the big boss fight at the end. We also do get to see Roxy in action, but she also mostly serves as a distraction for the Rangers so that the rest of Evox's forces can summon a Beta Gigadrone to attack the city. And you want to know how she goes down? She goes down in a rather humorous way. During that scene, Roxy as well as Zoey were battling it out. Zoey fires a projectile that hits the Morph-X bike, which causes the Morph-X to go unstable. So what does Zoey do? Takes the unstable Morph-X, throws it, and in a way it does miss, but guess where it ends up? Where the Morph-X is at along with a few explosives. And Roxy goes down really good. Well played, Zoey. Well played. Very well played indeed. This episode also has a few firsts as well. We get an introduction of the Beast-X cannon, combining the Beast-X saber with the blaster and combines it into a more powerful weapon. I like that, and it really does show that the Rangers can improvise. I have this feeling that Nate's going to end up being a Power Ranger soon enough. He is also the team's inventor, so that makes sense too. And the fact that we now get a stronger weapon helps. But I feel the weapon should only be used in like special occasions, because if they use it recklessly, let's just say it won't be pretty. The other one is the Beast Wheeler Zord's Gorilla Mode, which did help fight against the monster. And it did until, well, Devin shows up with his Zord and he's able to take it down. But I still can't understand, why do you need a blaster to shoot that when the Zord does the slash attack? Yeah, I know, Sentai footage, but to tell you the truth, I kind of prefer them having to use like a saber and whatnot just to finish the job instead of a blaster. That I can't understand. I'm not going to complain, mind you, but yeah, after like 3 episodes, I feel that maybe instead of having the blaster and whatnot, have it be converted into a blade, like a saber, and that would be making sense for the Red Ranger Zord to finish the job. A blaster just seems a bit weird. And we also get a look at the morphing sequence. In episode 2, the morphing sequence was just on a whim. They didn't have time to set it up. It wasn't really that convincing. This time, however, for this episode, now it's something I can get behind. It's something I can get behind. It's something that I did like. Since them activate using a key to insert the wristwatch, and then they morph and a tornado comes in, their animal DNA comes in, and then they transform into Power Rangers. Simple as that. Though I'm still not convinced that they're using the Go Busters Morpher and created a key exclusively for their American counterparts. I still prefer the Go Busters Morph a bit better because it's just straight to the point. Here, I find it a bit weird, but in a way, it does work. It does work. But all intents and purposes, this episode does lead to a bit of a happy ending. Zoey does succeed in her goal of stopping the project and allowing Morph-X bikes to appear all over the city because her mother did a news report showing the Rangers using Morph-X bikes, and that actually convinced the citizens to try it. When in doubt, rely on the Power Rangers. I'd say that's a good thing. The episode was pretty solid, at least the pacing was good, and the comic relief duo is still hilarious as ever, Ben and Betty. I mean, one part where the monster just fires a beam at their bike, and then it goes nuts, and then they land in the water. Hilariously funny. It is funny, but hey, who am I to complain? It was a pretty solid one. At least the pacing was good, and it does give Zoey a chance to shine, and we get some character development for her. Not to mention, we also get some development for Nate, since, well, we learn that Nate's parents weren't really there for him in his young life. He is a very gifted kid. But you can't help but feel bad for him in a way. It didn't stop him because now he has a new family in the form of his friends. So, everything in it is a plus. This episode earns an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty solid episode, the pacing for it is good. I really did like the bike chase scene, which to me was the highlight of the episode. And seeing the Rangers beat down Evox's forces is always a delight, even though it had to do so in some unexpected circumstances. So yeah, next week, hopefully you guys will be seeing another review from me. That is going to be it for this episode. If you saw it, tell me what you think of the episode. Was it good? Was it bad? Did you like the bike chase scene? Because they did actually show it as a teaser. And that got me intrigued. Bike chase scene? Yeah, I did like it. At least it's better than that 3-minute chase back in Season 2 of Power Rangers. What can you do? As always, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. Doing it all helps to my benefit. It really does. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. I'll see you next week for episode 4. Let's morphin'.